Hello yogis, welcome to Happy Yoga Life channel. Please subscribe below and like and comment and share with more people. Without further ado, please grab a mat. Let's start the practice. Om Namaste. Welcome. Welcome to today's Yin Yoga session. So today we're going to work on some hip opening as well as work on lower back. So hopefully after the session you'll feel much more grounded and open throughout. So first, let's just sit for a few moments, coming to the mat. Get yourself seated on a blanket or something so your thighs or knees are relaxed. Keep your shoulders relaxed and then reach your crown toward the sky. And then just gently open and close your eyes. Now start to notice your breath. Just focus on the present moment. The breath is all that is. Start to deepen your breath, feeling that inhale, getting that slightly cooler air through your nostrils. And the exhale, feel like slightly warm air out of your nostrils. Now let's take a few breaths together, but use your own breath as a guidance. So on the inhale, just let your belly rise. Exhale, let belly go inward. Squeeze all the air out. Only observe your belly. Observe the air through your nostrils. Keeping the rhythm and observe your rib cage. Observe on the inhale. Observe on the exhale. Now flip your palms facing up if you haven't. Again, on the inhale, observe your rib cage. And then close your palm back to the knees and observe your rib cage on the inhale. So experiment your rib cage rise and fall with the palms open toward the sky or face down toward your knees, and see the difference. It's very subtle. Just see if you observe when your palms are facing up, it's easier to have your rib cage open and rise. Just that subtle difference, observe it. We use the breath to get in touch with our physical body. And now observe your mind. If there's any thoughts coming in, just let the thoughts go out, riding on a piece of cloud. Just floating through out of the crown of your head toward the sky. And focus back onto your breath. Relax anywhere in your body that you observe there's a little bit of tension. Maybe it's your hips, maybe it's the knees, maybe it's the shoulders, or even neck. Now slowly put your palms together in front of your heart. Have your base of your thumbs pressing against your chest and heart center. Just feeling the presence of your own heart. Let's set an intention for today's practice. The intention along the theme of in the moment of presence. In the moment of present. Just now. You can simply have a statement in the present tense. For example, I am living in the moment now. That's intention. I'm feeling in the moment now. Just pick one intention that you have that's suitable for you at this moment. And say that 3 times in your heart. Now slowly release your hands to your knees and open your eyes. All right, so we start our first pose on the floor. So come to a Sphinx pose. Let's just come to the bellies. And then put your elbows a little forward from your shoulders and have the top of your feet flat on the floor. Simply stay here. Let the belly being very relaxed. We'll stay here, focus for only 3 minutes. You can keep your eyes closed. Nothing to hold up. There's one good way to live in the moment. Being present is to focus whatever you have now. At this moment, you're in the pose. Nothing else is moving except your breath. So focus on your inhale and exhale. Now, if you realize your mind is jumping to the future or jumping to the past, then your mind is simply not here. Invite your mind to come back to the present moment. Do not judge your mind. Let it be, but invite it. Feeling that heaviness of your pelvis toward pubic bone toward the mat. If you want a little more intense stretch and compression of the lower back, bend your knees one at a time. Just let your knees bend and let your lower leg hang up there. If it's a little too intense, widen your knees. Just stay here for a few moments. And lower down your knee, lower down your lower back, lower leg. Tuck the toes behind. Put your palms under the shoulders, forehead to the floor. Just stay here for one moment. And then push yourself up and back to child's pose. So your knees wide open, big toes touch. Hands forward, forehead on the floor. Simply stay here. And then push up to all fours. Let's try 3 cat and cows. So inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, look up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round your lower back, mid back, upper back. Just be gentle the first few cat and cows. When you finish, come to neutral spine. And then step your right foot forward outside of your right palm. So the right foot is on the right edge of the mat. Both palms are inside. So we're going to stay here for a little bit to open the left hip flexor and open the right hip. So now put your right palm on the right thigh. Just push it outward a little bit. So just push outward gently and see how your outer right hip feels. And it feels okay, there's no sharp pain, and then just push outward gently. The right foot might roll outward to the right side. So we stay here for 3 minutes from now. Now turn your chest to the right. So this is the outer hip stretch for the right hip. and the hip flexor stretch for the left hip. Keep sinking your hips down. Just let the gravity serve you. Now release your right hand to the mat. Let your right foot back to the mat. Now, if it's okay with you, lower down to your elbow. So you can interlace the fingers in front and just elbow on the floor. So your forearms are on the floor. Just let your chest melt to the floor. Simply stay here. You can relax your head and neck if that's comfortable for you. Feeling that heaviness from your hips. Keep melting toward the mat. If it's at any point feel it's too much, you can always come back to your palms. Just do whatever your body needs. Now, if you haven't come back to your palms, now come back to your palms. And then shift your right foot toward the left. We come to pigeon pose. So for pigeon pose, if you need a padding for the right hip, use a blanket or cushion. So now melt your chest forward to the right shin bone. So normally, if you have the right shin bone and your right thigh 90-degree angle, so not 90-degree angle, it protects your knee joints. But everyone's knees or joints are different. So do whatever suits your body. And we just stay 3 minutes here on this side. You can interlace your fingers or simply put your forehead on the forearms. Melt your chest toward the right shin bone. And feeling your right outer hip. And relax your right hip. Observe your mind. Is your mind in the present moment? Focus on your breath. Take inhale and observe your body. Take exhale, observe your body. And slowly help yourself back to the palms. Tuck the back toe, lift your hip, step your right foot back, and then lower knees down, push to downward dog, push to child's pose. Simply stay here. And then come onto your all fours. Then do 3 cat and cows. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, look up. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your spine, relax your head. Do it at your own pace, feeling that few degrees of freedom on your lower back. Then come to neutral spine, and then put your left foot forward outside of your left hand. So left foot is on the edge of the mat. Plant your right palm on the floor and turn your belly chest to the left. Put left hand on left thigh and gently push your left thigh away from your chest. And then once you find that edge, stay there. And we will stay here for 3 minutes from now. And simply relax your hips forward and down. Observe your left outer hip and the right hip flexor. Now slowly turn your left thigh back to this neutral position, your torso back to center, and then lower down your arms to the forearms on the floor, and interlace the fingers if you wish. Just stay here. You can relax your head and neck, or if you have a block, support your forehead with a block. Observe your breath. How do you feel when you exhale completely? Do you feel that over the course you start to drip even further toward the earth? And slowly get your palms onto the floor. Now wiggle your left foot toward the right. So get your right foot to the right hands and then let your left knee down. So your left shin bone is on the floor. I would use a padding for my left hip just so that I feel comfortable. And then slowly come to your forearms. You can simply put forehead on the forearms. If it's too much for you, you can always just have your palms on the floor and just supporting your chest upward. And this is a yin type of yoga, so there's no need to really keep the hip square. Just completely relax your hip onto the floor. And we stay here for 3 minutes. Observe your mind. If your mind is not quiet, invite it to come to quietness. So when we have no thoughts, that's like a cleansing of our mind space. It's also called like decluttering of your own home. What does it mean to declutter our mind? That is to invite all the thoughts out for the present moment. Let the mind have some spaciousness. Remind yourself your intention. If you're in the moment, you're unlikely to judge because you no longer compare to the past or compare to an expected outcome in the future. So living in the present really serves you for good. And slowly let your palms come back to the floor. Stay here for a moment. And then tuck the back toes. Step your left foot back. Lower down the knees. And come to child's pose for a moment. Observe your hips. Then slowly come to all fours. Let's do 3 more cat and cows. We never skip our favorite cat and cow when we involve some spine work and hips work. Then come to neutral spine. So we will continue to work on the outer hip. So coming to your knees, you're on your knees, and then cross the right knee on top of left, and your feet are apart. We're going to shoelace. So then slowly sit back. I would like to always have a padding for my hips, so both sit bones are on the floor, and there's no sharp pain of your knees. So if there's any sharp pain, come out of it. And right now my left knee has some sharp pain, so I'm going to come out. Just let my left knee be straight. So the key here is for the right hip. And then once you're here, then slowly fold forward. And then melt your chest toward the right knee and right thigh. And relax your forehead. Just relax your neck. Now we stay here for 3 minutes. We're stretching a lot of outer hip at the moment. And slowly come up to your palms. Now walk your palms toward the right. And then slowly bend your elbows, put your elbows on the floor. So it's a little bit opening on the left rib cage. At the same time, stretching our hips. Observe your breathing and observe your body. And slowly come back to your palms and palms back to center. And then shift your weight forward, come to your knees. And now change sides. Cross the left leg on top of right. And then sit back. Come to shoelace. And once you're here, slowly shift forward, palms forward, and come to elbows, chest toward the left thigh. Relax your head and neck. Observe whether there's difference between your left and right. Different sensations. Recognize the difference and embrace the difference. We're great at observing others. Yoga practice is the best way for ourselves to observe ourselves. And slowly straighten your elbows and then move your palms toward the left. And then come onto your elbows again. Now we're stretching a little more on the right rib cage. Remind yourself of your intention for today's practice. Now slowly straighten your elbow and then palms back to center. And then shift weight forward, come to knees, and then come to all fours. And just practice 3 cat and cow. All right, meet at neutral spine. And then we will work on the front of the hips. So for the front of the hips, we will need a block. So if you have a block, that's great. If you don't have a block, you can use some cushions. So the key is we're gonna go to a supported bridge, and that will really open the front and also really good for the lower back. So come onto your back and the feet on the floor, And on the inhale, lift your pelvis toward the ceiling and then put the block on the lowest height under the sacrum. So this is supported bridge, and simply stay here. And we'll stay in supported bridge for 3 minutes. So starting from now, you can have palms facing up simply, or you can have just arms wide open. Observe your hips heavy, supported by the block or cushions. Now slowly straighten your knees one at a time so your heels are on the floor. And you can have your heels a little wider apart and just let your feet flop away from each other. And feeling that complete openness of the front side of your hips. Now slowly bend your knees one at a time and keep your feet on the floor. Keep your feet mat width and then let your knees fall into each other. And stay here. And then straighten your knees toward the ceiling. Lift your lower back, lift your pelvis toward floor, toward ceiling. Take out the block. Lower down your hips to the floor. Stay here. Knees fall in toward each other. Now lift your feet. Get your both knees with your hands. And then let your knees fall to the left. Both knees. And then turn your chest to the sky and turn your head to the right. You can have your left hand on right thigh to stabilize it, and we'll stay here for 3 minutes each side. This is a twist. Relax your hips, relax your thighs, relax your right shoulder. Recall your intention for the present. And then slowly get yourself back to center. And just stay in center for a moment. And then let your both knees fall to the right. And turn your torso to the ceiling and the head to the left. Put your right hand on top of left thigh for stability. Now observe your mind. If your mind has gone somewhere else, then invite it to come back. Observe your body, sensations. And then slowly come back to center. In staying centered, just hug your knees in. And then slowly straighten your knees and come to Shavasana. You can set up any type of Shavasana you like to practice, or simply straighten your legs and arms along your side, palms facing up. Gently close your eyes. Just bring your awareness to your body and your mind. First, to recognize any sensations without judging it. Allow your body to be present. Allow your mind to be present. Now relax your body. Let every single cell in your body melt. And now relax your mind. Invite all thoughts out of your mind and feeling that spaciousness of your mind. Now you can simply say, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not this body, I am not this mind. Continue to relax 5 or 10 more minutes. When you come out of Shavasana, please be gentle, be mindful, and be present. Thank you all for being here. Practice with me. Thank you for your presence. Your presence is the best gift. Namaste.